These are 10 times Peter got what he deserved on Family Guy. Starting with the time Lois grounded him for accumulating credit card debt, which led to him digging a tunnel that almost became his tomb and undergrounded. So Peter forgets to bring cash for the bar and can't charge it to his credit card because Lois will see that he's not at work.
You don't have your own card? One that Lois doesn't know about?
Nah, Lois would kill me.
Kinda surprised he already doesn't, right? It'd be much easier to pay for all the Peter copters.
Peter, I'm telling you, get yourself a secret credit card. You save yourself a lot of stress.
I'm sorry, does keeping a secret from your wife not cause you a bunch of stress? I can't keep a secret about anything. For instance, did you know that the lost city of Atlantis is in Milwaukee? I know, weird, right? So Peter takes his friend's advice and gets himself his own secret credit card, immediately racking up some payments.
Peter, are you wearing a costume from Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country?
Why yes, he's glad you noticed. But she knows there's only one way to afford a costume from the 6th best Star Trek movie.
Peter, give me the credit card.
How'd you find out? The UPS guy from earlier?
If you can't trust a stranger with your address, then who can you trust? Well, definitely not Peter when it comes to money.
You want to act like a child, Peter? Then I'm gonna treat you like a child. You're grounded.
Not the weirdest thing to be grounded as an adult, we just call that going to jail. So Peter's stuck inside, unable to enjoy the wonders that the world has to offer.
Peter, you're not gonna believe whose car just broke down on Spooner Street. Tom Brady!
What?
Brady couldn't just stop at deflating footballs, now he's out here deflating car tires too? So to see the outside world again, Peter decides to take a move out of Brian's playbook.
I gotta get out of here, Brian. I'm going crazy sitting around the house.
So you're tunneling out?
Well, I guess Brian is more of a hole guy than a tunnel guy, which are apparently two very different things. So after working harder than he's ever worked in his life, Peter manages to Bugs Bunny his way to freedom.
You dug a hole all the way from your house.
Pretty cool, huh?
I'm more surprised he was able to pinpoint the exact way to the bar. Now that's the mark of a true alcoholic. So Peter shows off the tunnel to the guys, but cartoon physics can only hold that thing together for so long.
Look out!
Next time, make sure to get the proper zoning and contracting approvals before you dig your illegal tunnel.
Because you can't stand up to your wife, I'm gonna die.
Relax, Quagmire. Nobody's gonna die.
I don't know, I do think that's what usually happens when someone runs out of air. Their only hope is if Brian rats Peter out to Lois, but Brian is just too good a boy. Yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is.
How'd you like to be a very good boy?
Tell me how. Tell me how.
Where's the fat man?
Oh, damn it.
So a rescue mission gets underway to save the guys, but they've got to hope and pray they don't run out of air first.
I'm gonna kill you, Peter!
All right, calm down. Let's not use the rest of our oxygen to kill each other.
Well, Peter does use up the most oxygen out of the four, so it's only fair that he goes first. So since it looks like they're gonna die, they decide to share their deepest, darkest secrets.
I went to a Coldplay concert by myself.
What? That's terrible.
Why would you do that?
I didn't think anything worse than this could happen at a Coldplay concert, but here we are. But luckily, a rescue team manages to pull them out just in the nick of time, with their families just ecstatic over their survival.
What the hell were you thinking?
Maybe giving Peter a stiff clothesline is just her love language. I'm sure she'll be happy he's alive at some point. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not at all. But when Peter decided he was only happy eating junk food, he ended up getting so big that he needed to be airlifted out of his food truck and saturated fat guy. So Lois throws on a documentary about healthy eating for the family. And it's just as exciting as it sounds.
Without drastic changes in our diet, Americans are headed for a health catastrophe.
Well, that's just the right amount of fear-mongering to sway a housewife with too much time on her hands who also doesn't want to spend that time doing her own research.
From now on, we're eating healthy around here. We're gonna feel better and we're gonna look better.
About time we gave these uggos a facelift. Maybe in time they can reach the final destination of cartoon looks. 3D. So Lois tests out the family's first attempt at eating healthy.
What's this stuff that looks like sand?
It's quinoa.
Nope, I don't eat foods that sound like karate words.
You might think that makes him picky, but I can't think of too many foods that would fall under that criteria. Does sound like he's probably missing out on bibimbap though. But how bad can quinoa really be?
Peter, knock it off.
I can't help it. My body's rejecting it.
So Peter takes matters into his own hands, sneaking out at night to eat junk food in the unjudgmental safety of his car.
Peanut butter cup, Dorito sausage car panini. And let's crack a Cadbury egg over the whole thing.
Does he take joy in spitting in the face of nature? Does he get some sick satisfaction in creating abominations that would make Dr. Frankenstein shiver? But hey, Cleveland seems to like it.
Wow, Peter, that's good. That's real good.
Apparently the smell of pressed hot dogs and crushed Doritos is like worms on a hook for middle-aged men who are also being forced to eat healthy.
Tell you what, I'll give you $10 for that thing.
Yeah, me too.
Naturally, Peter sees this as a sign to open up his own food truck, ready to add 10 pounds to everyone's waistline per meal.
This, Lois, is my new food truck, specializing in all the delicious, unhealthy foods that you won't let me eat.
Don't worry, Lois, this little phase shouldn't last long. Mostly because Peter's heart will probably give out in no time. And after enough time, Peter even manages to get the whole family to reject Lois's healthy food in favor of his deep-fried abominations.
All right, I got a bowl of cereal that's M&M's and Dr. Pepper.
Over here.
You could probably just drink a vial of acid and it'd have the same effect on your body. But Lois is done trying to talk some sense into him.
You love this truck so much, stay in it. Cause I don't want you or your food in the house.
Honestly, good call. I know it smells crazy in there. In the truck and inside Peter's digestive tract, I mean. So Peter tries his hand at living in the truck, which is just as depressing as it looks.
This is awful.
Well, I love it. And I'm not going back in that house and listen to Lois tell me how fat and unhealthy I am.
I'd say the mirror could probably do the same thing, but it looks like he doesn't have one. Maybe if he sees his reflection in the microwave enough, he'll get the hint. But it all comes tumbling down on Peter when his weight keeps him from leaving the truck to get photographed by the Bing Maps car.
Damn it! I can't fit through the door! I'm stuck in a truck!
That'd make a good Dr. Seuss book title if this whole ordeal weren't so gross and depressing. And in case Peter hasn't been embarrassed enough, he ends up getting removed from the truck like how they remove a beached whale.
I guess you must be happy.
Yeah, it's every girl's dream to have a husband hoisted out of a food truck in a horse harness.
Well, judging by how big he's gotten, I'd say Peter has about 30 seconds to apologize to Lois before he explodes like a water balloon.
I guess I could do without eating so much junk. But I could never do without you.
I don't know, sometimes living with Lois seems like it could lead to an elevated heart rate, but it's definitely better than him being on his own. But Peter would ignore Lois again before falling down the stairs and being left in a coma in Are You There, God? It's Me, Peter. So Peter's preparing to cozy up on the couch this weekend instead of spending time with his family.
I hope you don't plan on just lying on the couch and watching TV all weekend.
Would you ask a fish not to swim? A dove not to sing? To deny a creature of its instincts is to deny nature itself. But maybe Lois has a point, as things get gross pretty fast.
Peter, this is ridiculous. You've been lying here all weekend. I'm not bringing you any more food.
Well, by the looks of it, Peter's been eating enough to hibernate for a whole winter, so I think he'll be okay. But when the guys invite Peter out, he quickly realizes that he and the couch have become one. Well, the positive is that he can now lie down anywhere he wants. And the negatives are, well, there are too many to count. So Peter goes to get it ripped from his back.
Very painful. Ready?
Actually, I've decided to keep the couch on me.
Yeah, who knows? It could become the latest fashion trend. It's probably better than whatever it is the kids are wearing today. Later, Hosen, right?
That stupid couch is messing up our house. If Peter won't let Dr. Hartman remove it, we're doing it ourselves.
Easier said than done, as Peter has grown really attached to this couch. Not just in the obvious way, but the emotional way too.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to sleep on the couch.
Although getting around is also easier said than done. If you've ever had to move a couch anywhere, you'd know how much of a pain in the shell it is. I did it once, and now I live like a nomadic samurai to avoid the hassle.
You know what? Just give me a push.
Well, Peter finally got that relaxation time he's been wanting, and all it took was falling into a coma he may never recover from. Too bad his subconscious couldn't put him in anything cooler than a stuck elevator.
Oh, God.
This would be pretty shocking if Peter hadn't already met God before. Do you think he ever paid back the clam after burning it down?
Jesus Christ! What? Get the Escalade. We're out of here.
So Peter isn't entirely sure why he's in an elevator with God, so he decides to pass the time by asking him life's eternal questions.
Will Taylor Swift and Katy Perry ever reconcile their differences?
A question everyone from the Mayans to the Egyptians has sought the answer to, but to no avail. But enough BSing eventually leads Peter to wonder when this elevator's gonna get fixed.
It's not broken. I just haven't decided where it's going yet.
This place has heaven and hell, but no penthouse suite? Man, life really is just one big Holiday Inn.
Am I dead?
Yes.
Oh my God!
I know, he's right there. Using his name in vain probably isn't winning you any heaven points either.
I have a family who needs me.
Actually, Peter, from what I've seen, I think your family would be better off without you.
But Peter assures God that if given a second chance, he can change and be the father and husband the family needs him to be.
I'll give you 1 day to prove to me that your family is better off with you alive.
1 day? Couldn't have given Peter a more realistic window to change, like 1 century? So God returns him to before the coma, and Peter does his best to earn the title of Family Guy, but he does seem to take his Fuddruckers very seriously.
I got chicken.
What? Here? This is Fuddruckers. What part of Fuddruckers don't you understand?
Well, for starters, I don't understand why they picked a name that verges on us getting demonetized if I slip up. Maybe that's why I haven't seen one of these things in over 10 years.
You can do this, Peter. You love your family.
Dad, can you crack your window a little bit?
I hate you all so much!
Yeah, so this probably played out exactly like God, me, you, and all of existence expected. So it looks like it's time for the big man to come to collect.
I'm a terrible husband and a terrible father. I should never have questioned you. You were right about everything.
And it turns out that all God was looking for was a little compliment. I guess Peter can do whatever he wants, just as long as he doesn't question God. That's a great lesson. But Peter would learn a dangerous lesson when he picked up smoking, leading him to almost dying in Secondhand smoke. So Peter notices his coworker Stella always seems to dip out when there's work to be done.
If I ever want to get out of something, all I gotta do is take a smoke break?
Well, I suppose, but you don't smoke.
That's true, and cigarettes aren't exactly known for being addictive or anything. But Peter manages to pick up the habit, using it to not only get out of work, but also to get out of household responsibilities.
Okay, Stewie, time to change your diaper. Oh, smoke break.
At least he had the thought not to smoke right over the baby. He's low on good dad points, but he does have a few. Although he's probably gonna lose a few husband points for his inopportune smoke break choices.
Peter, what are you doing down there?
Nothing.
Well, it doesn't seem like nothing.
Is this a new kinky thing couples are doing nowadays? Turning each other into a smokestack? Well, it's gonna need a name. Cleveland Steamer? No, that one's already taken.
You have a serious problem. Cigarettes will kill you.
Relax, Lois. I can quit any time I want.
Just not right now, or later, or forever. But somewhere in between, that's when he can quit. So he does his best to hide it, but Peter's best is the average person's worst.
Nothing like an after-run mint to get rid of that jogger's breath.
Yeah, and those clouds he leaves behind are just dust clouds from running so fast, just like our fastest cartoon characters. But if he just plays it cool, maybe Lois won't notice.
I meant to tell you, remember my cousin Sylvia's husband, Robert? Well,
Does this story have an end?
Are you telling me we won't find out what happened or didn't happen to Robert? Truly, we are living in the worst timeline. But I guess Peter didn't gauge that acting like a smoker was eventually gonna make you look like a smoker.
Oh my God! How did this happen?
it's from smoking.
Not that bad.
Nah, lots of people look like they're in their 80s when they're in their 40s. It's a sign of wisdom, and a sign to stay like 6 feet away from them. So they decide to take Peter to a stop smoking clinic. I wish they had a more direct name so we know exactly what this place does. But it turns out it's Peter's lucky day as he's approached by an advertising agent.
I think you'd be perfect for our new anti-smoking campaign.
Me? You'd want me on TV?
As much as people want pimples on their butts, but maybe Peter's appearance can be a warning for others. He just needs to keep up that appearance.
If you're gonna be our spokesman, you have to keep smoking. We need you to stay wrinkled and sickly.
A small price to pay for minor television fame and a lifetime of health problems, but somebody's gotta do it.
This is your heart. This is your heart on cigarettes. Any questions?
Nah, I'm good. That was quite possibly the most literal anti-smoking commercial I've ever seen. I don't know how you got a hold of my heart, but I appreciate the effort they went through to get it. But eventually, Peter's time in the sun has come to an end.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but we no longer need your services.
Wait, what?
Well, at least it's led to so many new experiences. You can't just get lung and heart troubles until the day you die from anywhere.
Well, I finally quit smoking and I'm ready to go back to normal.
Peter, that's not how it works.
Sure, maybe in the real world, but cartoons have a status quo to meet. Everything can go back to normal with a simple cut to a wide shot of the house. Well, it was worth a shot. This serves as a great lesson towards the dangers of smoking, especially because smoke breaks are so last century. You want to get out of doing things at work? Just sit in the bathroom stall and doom scroll on your phone. What are they gonna do, tell you not to poop? But when Peter got sick of Lois telling him what to do, he ended up creating a kids show and almost died again after bringing a puma on set, and you can't do that on television, Peter. So Peter's looking to dip out for a few hours to a few days, but Lois thinks he needs to spend more time with his kids.
Peter, for once, you're gonna stay here and help around the house. Now I need you to watch Stewie till I get back.
Look, isn't seeing them once when they're born and then never again until they're old enough to make you money enough of a father-son relationship? But Peter tries a bit to connect with Stewie.
Coming up next, it's the Jolly Farm Review Marathon.
No, don't switch it. I want to watch Jolly Farm.
Maybe start paying some taxes and paying off the house, and then you can start picking what to watch. But believe it or not, Peter actually seems to like the show.
Oh, look, it's Pengrove Pig. And he's sharing his apples nicely, isn't he?
Like a champ he is.
Well, he's not in the physical age range for the show, but he is in the mental age range for it.
This is the greatest show in the history of television.
But Peter gets a little too invested, forgetting what he was supposed to be doing in the first place.
I've been watching Jolly Farm with Stewie for the last 3 hours.
That's not Stewie, that's a pineapple.
Oof, in that case, maybe don't take a sip of those pina coladas Peter made. Stewie's okay, but Lois is still furious over Peter's negligence. If only life could be as simple as it is on Jolly Farm.
So, this will be our last episode of Jolly Farm.
What? No! They can't cancel Jolly Farm!
But Peter won't just sit idly by, as he ends up taking children's television into his own hands.
It's time for Petey's Funhouse!
Okay, whose basement is that, and how many kids did Peter have to lure into it for this show?
Peter's show is on the local public access channel. Anyone can have one.
Anyone, you say? It may just be time to bring Sweaty Clam to public broadcast. I'm sure all the elderly people in retirement homes will get a kick out of it. So what exactly goes on at a Petey's Funhouse show?
Today's story is Lesbian Butts in 80s Jeans. Ooh, that's a classic.
Yeah, I'd say that's about what I expected. Kids really will watch any kind of slop these days, huh?
Too old to be peeing yourself, baby pee pants. All right, you kids finish him off.
But Lois is getting frustrated with Peter's lack of attention to the family, and Peter's frustrated with how frustrated Lois is. So, like a true artist, Peter works out his frustrations through his show.
It sounds like someone's having fun over here. You know I don't like that.
This is the equivalent of when we used to make people we didn't like in a WWE game and then beat them up. No? Just me? Well, back into the suppressed part of my brain goes that memory.
Do you like pie? I guess. Well, how does this taste?
And unfortunately for Lois, kids don't know how to differentiate between real and TV.
You're mean. I don't like you, Saggy Naggy. You stink, Saggy Naggy.
Who cares what they think? They'll be dead soon anyway. No, wait, that's old people. Yeah, this might be a problem. So since Peter won't stop doing the show, Lois decides to just stop giving him material he can use.
From now on, I'm not nagging you anymore.
You're not?
No, you're on your own. I'm done with it. I'm done with all of it.
Well, that's good. Now no one can get in the way of the fun Puma bit Peter has planned for tomorrow's show.
I'm asking you who's on first.
These Pumas, man. No respect for show business. You either gotta go with a lion or no big cat at all. Fortunately, Peter survives thanks to some quick thinking stitching from Meg.
I acted like a real jerk, and I'm sorry, Lois. I know you just get on my case because you're looking out for me.
Lois seems to really be fighting against natural selection. But if Peter wants to get erased from life so bad, you may just want to let him. But Meg would end up saving Peter's life by kissing him after he almost ruined her lifeguarding job in Lifeguard Meg. So the family goes to the ocean park for the day, where Stewie accidentally falls into one of the pools. I sure hope so. Imagine you're drowning, the life slowly leaving your eyes, and the last thing you see before you die is Meg. Remember, Meg, you could just let him drown and no one will think less of you. But Peter knows how to barter his way into staying. You mean the thing Stewie has literal nightmares about? I don't think he's gonna give that spot up so easily.
But only if you
believe how CPR works. You should know this, Peter. You were CPR certified once upon a time. But apparently, no one really understands how CPR. I told you they'd prefer if Peter had drowned instead. Apparently, it doesn't matter that Meg saved his life because now both of them are being labeled as freaks.
Local man Peter Griffin was revived.
Honestly, it's way more telling of the rest of the town that they wouldn't swap a little spit with their parents to save their lives. Though now that I say it out loud, okay, fair point. So the wedding is off? Just like that? A distraught Peter runs up the stairs, but he slips and falls, sending him into another unconscious state.
You have to give him mouth to mouth.
Me?
Well, it looks like this is where Peter's gonna die. Honestly, slipping and falling down the stairs was probably how it was always meant to be. Luckily, it's Stewie's turn to be the hero now.
What's the big deal? You stick your tongue down Dad's throat, most natural thing in the world.
His mind is not in the right place, but I guess it's okay since Peter's saved. Probably way further in the future when Peter can't remember who Meg is, so he just confuses her for the fridge. He'll treat her with way more respect then. But Peter's family would abandon him after he disrespected their Christmas, requiring the ghost of Patrick Swayze to step in before Peter died alone in Don't Be a Dickens at Christmas. So Brian decided to be extra thoughtful and get the family a combined Christmas gift this year.
So I've signed all of us up to volunteer tomorrow at a homeless shelter. That's your present.
Hopefully it's one that came with a receipt, because Brian may just wake up to being choked with garland if he doesn't take it back.
Now hold on, I think that's actually a wonderful idea, Brian.
Well, it sounds like Peter might have to be the deciding vote on that one, but it looks like his Christmas plans don't exactly involve the family.
Get out of the road!
And Everybody's headed right to the bar.
Well, yeah, you can't get into the spirit of the holidays without getting some actual spirits in you. So several hours of relaxing later, Peter just wants to come home and relax. Can you believe the audacity of Lois to ask for even more?
I need you to take down last year's Christmas lights and put up this year's Christmas lights.
Totally checks out that the Griffins are a leave their Christmas lights up year-round family. That's why you gotta get those projector lights. It tells people you're lazy, but festive lazy.
Tomorrow we're going down to volunteer at the homeless shelter.
What time will you be back?
You're coming with us.
But giving and spreading cheer does not sound like Christmas to Peter, so he draws a line in the snow. Fortunately, Lois has her parents' house to fall back on.
Well, this year I am going and the kids are coming with me.
Go ahead. I'm fine by myself.
Ooh, sounds like someone is gonna wake up to find a divorce letter in their stocking. So Peter spends his Christmas Eve passed out drunk, but a little flicker transforms into the one, the only, Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze? How is that even possible? You're dead!
Haven't you ever seen Ghost? Peter, you're in trouble.
I have seen Ghost, and by that I mean just the pottery scene. Not sure if it's worth seeing anything else beyond that. In an effort to bring back Peter's Christmas spirit, Patrick takes him back in time to his childhood.
Yay! It's Christmas!
And I made your favorite, peanut butter chocolate chip cookies.
Better eat them quickly before Karen gets to them, who may or may not exist depending on if the writers felt like caring about continuity that day. But teleporting to the present paints a less happy story.
More champagne, miss?
Miss? Oh my.
Yeah, probably not a good sign that the most basic level of respect from a man gets Lois all hot and bothered. Then again, that ponytail doesn't hurt either.
You're very funny, Lance. You're a very handsome, funny man. Now let's see that
I guess Lois only likes to play ball without first and second base. But this present could very well be Lois's future, and Peter's future doesn't look quite as pleasant.
I can't believe our buddy's dead.
I know, and it's so sad. He left his family with nothing.
I knew he shouldn't have double refinanced the house for that Petercopter. But while the future seems bleak, it looks like the family moves along just fine.
Who's that guy?
That's Lois's new husband, Lance.
Wow. I finally had the guts to leave her.
Yep, it turns out Peter struck it big with a little lady named Death. She does have a thing for complete psychopaths.
Why didn't someone in my family save me?
They went to Newport because you wanted to be by yourself.
So I guess he's got to choose between loving his family and being a fart ghost for the rest of time. Might need to write up a pros and cons list for this one.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Peter!
Dad!
Oh, Peter, you did come.
So it looks like Swayze helped Peter find the true meaning of the holidays. Finally appreciate your family when you're on the brink of death, at least for a few days. But anyway, this calls for a little bit of dirty Aw, come on, it's Christmas. Just let him enjoy one last episode of Psychosis. But this wasn't Peter's only Christmas misdeed, because when he took advantage as a mall Santa, the real Santa had to come and set him straight in how the Griffin stole Christmas. So the family goes to the mall for some Christmas shopping, but Chris really wants to sit on Santa's lap.
Chris, come on, you're in high school.
I'm gonna ask him for a—
Look, if you had to deal with screaming kids all day, you'd probably be bathing in eggnog too.
The seasonal Santa we hired has a drinking problem, and I don't know where to find a replacement on such short notice.
Well, how do you tell a guy he's fit for the role without sounding like you're insulting his weight? Just say he'd make the perfect Santa.
I'd pay you for your time.
All right, fine.
So while the gig probably comes with your knee being wet and asleep all day, it does come with some worthwhile perks. And Santa's been using this street cred to just get milk and cookies? What a fool.
You wear this suit, it's like a free pass. People let you do anything you want.
And you just know he really put the concept of anything to the test. The rule of Santa defies man-made law, for he is a creature unbound to mortal regulations.
Now crumple up that ticket. Now eat it.
But after a bender of free food and free passes, the OG needs to step in if there's any hope of saving his image.
How wasted are you?
Don't judge me. You live in a bottle. It's a lamp. And I'm not a genie.
To be fair, an old man who breaks into houses for kids every year probably doesn't need someone else to sully it for them.
What did I ask for Christmas when I was 12?
Nothing, because it was the year you found that penthouse in the woods.
He really does see you when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, and knows when you're supposed to be sleeping, but you're reading a Dirty Woods magazine. Somehow Peter is sounding less like a weirdo here.
It says, hey Joe, cancel your plans, let's go to Build-A-Bear.
I didn't send you it. Oh, son of a bitch.
Nothing wrong with two grown men building a bear together, though I wouldn't blame mall security for keeping an extra special eye on them. But if Peter wants jokes on you, Santa, that's a couple of weeks worth of food and a new fur coat if you know what you're doing. I do not, so all I'd probably get is more flies than I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, maybe don't Google that specific issue. But if you want to know what that's all about, we do talk about it in our One Fact for Every Episode video series if you haven't seen those already.
So long, Peter. Glad to have you back on the nice list.
Give him a day or two. I don't think he'll be a resident there for very long. But Peter would use a hologram of himself to be the resident family guy, leading to the hologram almost killing him and the rest of the family in Happy Halloween. So it's Halloween in Quahog, but Peter isn't feeling the family time.
Oh, for God's sakes, Peter, I am so tired of you not making an effort to be a part of this family.
Excuse me, but where in the rulebook does it say that just because you got married and had 3 kids means you wanted a family? But a trip through a hallway of holograms does seem to pique Peter's interest.
Wow, these holograms are the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I've seen, like, a really big horse.
He's also seen God, but the horse does sound pretty cool. Peter even gets a little peek behind the curtain to see how these holograms come to be.
This machine scans your data, then creates a virtual hard-light version of you.
Finally, a way to make it seem like you like your family without actually liking them. Science is producing levels of I should really be divorced men the world has never seen. So Peter takes the device home in order to create the perfect version of himself.
I can cook an 8-course French meal. I always enter cars through the window because doors ain't the boss of me.
If he really wanted to create a cooler digital version of himself, he should have just become a VTuber. It's less embarrassing than pretending you like your family, but only slightly.
Hello, Peter Griffin. I am Hologram Peter Griffin. How may I be of service?
So Peter puts him to work, doing all the things he doesn't want to do, like spending time with his family, being in the same room as his family, looking at his family, and remembering that his family exists.
This is what I meant about making an effort with the family.
And while the hologram does that, Peter can finally pursue his true passions.
Can one of you throw glitter on me? It's better if Lois thinks I'm at a strip club. She hates you guys.
Though I bet she likes them more than Peter. But thanks to the hologram, she may actually start liking Peter again.
What the hell? No one kisses my wife except begrudgingly me.
And that's only when she lets him. Yeah, he's not really making me believe this is a relationship worth saving. So Peter confronts the hologram and insists that he can take things from here.
Okay, you're the boss. The hologram machine is in the basement. Let's head down there together and sort this out.
Oh, the soundproof basement where you can put things away and never think about them again? Great idea.
Where's the machine? I left it right over...
Come on, Peter. There's literally been memes warning you about this for years now.
You don't deserve your family. I care about them way more than you ever did.
Well, that's not entirely true because Peter, it may be entirely true. But Lois begins to catch on that there may be more to her newly loving husband than she thought.
Well, we had meatloaf tonight, so I guess I'm in for a Dutch oven.
What's a Dutch oven?
If there's one thing Peter knows, it's weird Urban Dictionary terms. Who would have thought that the prospect of not getting farted on all night would fill Lois with such fear? So Lois alerts the family and tries to escape, but hologram Peter is one step ahead of them.
Going somewhere, family?
And with the family tied up, the hologram can finally have them all to himself.
None of you appreciated me, and if I can't have you, no one will.
Well, they're tied up, so I'd have to assume you could have them. Let me guess, you just always really wanted to say that line, huh? But luckily, the real Peter escapes from the basement and the two get into a Peter fight.
Now for the final download. Everything in your mind.
Kinda sounds like an easy way to blue screen of death yourself. You'd probably find more useful data in a rock rather than Peter's mind. Peter starts losing the fight, so the family deduces that they need to overload the hologram.
By simply rubbing my feet on the carpet, I may be able to generate enough static electricity to do the job.
So they decide to have their own little Guardians of the Galaxy moment and share the energy to transfer it to Peter, who ends up short-circuiting the hologram as planned.
Wilma!
Hey, it's about time Larry made an appearance in this show. He walked so Peter could, well, he doesn't run. A semi-brisk stroll then?
I love you guys, and from now on, I'll try to be half as good as hologram me was.
Really? Not as good? Remind me again who we were supposed to be rooting for in this episode? And you might be rooting for Quagmire after Peter shoots him, causing the two friends to break up until Quagmire shoots him back to make them even, and Brian's a bad father. So the guys go out on a hunting trip. And there's your first mistake. You need to be in a full-body Kevlar suit or armor if you're gonna do this with Peter.
Should have taken the shot, fat ass.
If only that were enough to stop Peter. But what's he gonna do? Go home without having shot an innocent creature?
Yeah, see Quagmire? Safety's on. Now this is a gun without a safety.
Turns out the only safety that would work for Peter is a gun locked in a box at the bottom of the ocean. And even then, I don't know if we're safe. I'm definitely not.
Oh my god, Peter, that might be the dumbest thing you've ever done!
Oh, just give him some prep time. I'm sure he'll come up with something. He really is the Batman of stupid decisions.
Hey, Quagmire, what's with the cast? Did you hurt your arm after I shot you in the arm?
The shooting was the injury, Peter.
And to make matters worse, when Quagmire wants his Huey Lewis CD back, Peter reveals he gambled it away. That may just hurt more than the bullet. Quagmire might have to go Patrick Bateman on him for this.
No, Joe. It's time somebody said this to him. Peter Griffin, you are an idiot.
Something tells me this isn't the first time he's heard that. But is he an idiot who doesn't know he's an idiot, or an idiot who knows but doesn't care to change? One of those is more dangerous than the other.
I'm done with you. I'm done with all your crap. I never want to speak to you again. This friendship is over.
Peter would probably be upset if he knew what any of those words meant, but it seems like they're both taking the breakup pretty well.
Jerome, can you tell that piece of shit ass the hell out of here before I kick him in the face?
It must be awkward running into your ex like that in public. Maybe if they spent less time arguing and more time cuddling, they wouldn't be in this situation.
Hey, Joe, I'm over here.
Joe, come sit with me.
Come on, you guys.
Well, the only reasonable thing to do now is cut Joe in half so they can share. Gotta cut him vertically though. Horizontally just wouldn't be fair. But Joe doesn't want to be a child of divorce, even if it does mean getting 2 Christmases. So he's gonna have to choose.
I have to choose one of you. So I choose Quagmire.
What?
Second!
Yeah, I'd probably go with the friend who has the lower chance of shooting you too. So, with the friend group severed, Peter only has himself to wallow with.
Looks like it's just you and me, Shadow.
Shadow! Wow, he somehow now has less than himself. I always knew you couldn't trust a Shadow, whether it be of the hedgehog or hacker variety.
Lois, I don't have any friends. So I'm gonna kill myself and get a full page in the yearbook.
Look, if you're an adult and your picture is published alongside the pictures of a bunch of other people, that's not a yearbook, that's just the mugshot section of your local newspaper. Luckily, Peter thinks of a way to make everything right.
I need you to shoot me in the arm so we can be friends again.
Okay.
Whoa!
Yeah, I think Peter was probably expecting Quagmire to forgive him just for the gesture. But that ain't how the Q-Man rolls.
Your offer means nothing, Peter. The only thing that means anything to me is a bullet in your arm. Now give me that!
The two tussle over the gun, so Joe just steps in like a responsible gun owner and shoots Peter himself.
Then I get to shoot Joe, all right? He shot me. I mean, if we're doing things fair here, then...
All right, we're good.
I'd like to say that Peter learned a lesson, but once doctors are done gluing his brain back together, I don't think he'll be remembering much of anything. But you should remember to like this video if you had a good time, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos.